Hey everyone, it's Zara and I'm back to film a plan with me. This is going to be for our Disney week. So basically we would have been in Disney this whole week, but our vacation got canceled since Disney is closed and with everything going on. And so instead of, just sulking at home, we decided to basically plan out different Disney related activities to do each day, themed to what we would have been doing in the actual parks. So, copycat recipes from restaurants we would have eaten at, dressing up in, kind of Disney bounding. So basically like regular clothes that kind of have the essence of a Disney character, if that makes sense. I lit a candle each day that was from Wishes Candle Company, that kind of had, added to the ambiance of, the theme each day, that kind of a thing. So it was a very fun week to plan for. At the end of the week, I was actually really tired. It kind of felt like we were on a Disney vacation, just because I had planned so much, cooked so much, that kind of a thing. And so, I almost needed a vacation from our mock vacation week. And I did end up, originally I had the week off, but I ended up giving back my vacation time just because I didn't really want to have the whole week just sitting at home alone. And so, not really alone. I mean, my fiance would have been here, but he probably would have been working anyways. And so I worked the whole week, he worked the whole week, but we just kind of fit everything in and amongst everything else we did. So that Terra sticker is from Pumpkin Paper Company. That was just to mark down that it was our Disney week, because I didn't read any books this week, which is what I'd normally mark down there. So on to Monday. Monday was our Animal Kingdom date, and so I marked that in with a Cricky sticker from Mulan. I think most of my character stickers are going to be from Once More with Love, but I'll point out when they are not from Once More with Love, just to make it easy. So for this day, my Disney bound was of Simba, and then we listened to the Pocahontas soundtrack. One of my favorite rides in Disney is Expedition Everest, and so we watched a ride through of Expedition Everest, which isn't as cool as being on the actual ride, but it's the next best thing. And then we watched Rivers of Light, which is their nighttime show. And then this day, what I did for lunch was the chicken coconut curry soup, which would have been from Boma, which wasn't the restaurant we would have eaten at. We had reservations for Sanaa, which is in the Animal Kingdom Lodge, but in Sanaa they have this really impressive bread service. So basically it's just naan bread with 12 different dips and spreads for your bread. And so we only made 3, just because I'm not making I probably couldn't make all of them even if I wanted to, but did just a little selection of them, and then to go with the soup. And so that was just kind of a fun recipe, to do. And then we took a nature walk, which wasn't as much nature as I would have originally intended. We were just running short on time, so we just walked around the neighborhood and just pointed out wildlife birds and dogs. And then I used a shoe sticker from Exo Mama Plans to mark that in. And then the movie that we watched this day was Born in China, which is one of the Disney nature videos. And so I used a Mulan sticker to mark that in. And then I attempted to make some Dole Whip this day, and it really didn't turn out the way that it should have. It's definitely not Disney Dole Whip, for sure. But I used a Dole Whip sticker from Paper Shire to mark that in. Then moving on to Thursday. Thursday was our Toy Story date. which was a lot of fun. The one like non-Disney related activity that I marked in was that we got our grass seed this day, which was really fun just because we've been waiting for grass for forever. We've lived here for like 6-7 months at this point, and so I'm very tired of the dirt. And so it still needs to grow up, and then our dog is very active in the yard, and so it's hard to keep her from like tearing it up. So there's spots that we'll have to like reseed once everything grows in, but it's still very exciting. And so I used like a little green army man to mark that in. So then this day, we would have had reservations at the Sci-Fi Dine-In restaurant, I think is the full name, which is basically like you sit in little cars and they watch like kind of 50s, 60s, like B movies, and like Disney shorts, up on a big screen. But it feels like you're at a drive-in movie, and then you have like burgers and fries. And when my best friend and I ate there last year, we had like the best milkshakes, and they put in some sort of like alcohol in them to make them like an adult milkshake and stuff. So it was just like a really fun experience. So we would have had reservations to go there, and so I used this like Mickey burger sticker to mark down that we had burgers at the drive-in. Yes, we just like went and sat in our car in the garage and like propped up our phone and put on Toy Story while we ate dinner. So it was fun. It was definitely like a little kitschy, but it was a fun experience. And then when we were done eating, we just came inside and finished watching the movie. And then we watched Toy Story, obviously. And then this day I dressed up as Barbie. My favorite, I think this is my favorite ride in Disney. It goes back and forth between Expedition Everest and Rock and Roller Coaster. But we would have had a fast pass for Rock and Roller Coaster this day. And so we listened to some Aerosmith, and then watched like a Rock and Roller Coaster ride through, which I was surprised I could even find that, because that one's kind of like an intense ride. And then we did a Disney puzzle, or at least started the Disney puzzle. We didn't finish it. And then to go along with the burger, we made tachos, which are like nachos but with tater tots. And then we made an Oreo shake, a boozy Oreo shake, which was very delicious. So then moving on to Wednesday. Wednesday we had our princess date, which is obviously like Beauty and the Beast is my favorite Disney movie, and so I had to dress up as Princess Belle. But so to start off the day, I just did some cleaning and tidying up, which I think is very, very fitting. I used a Jack sticker from Cinderella to mark in my tidying. This day we watched Beauty and the Beast, and then my fiance even dressed up. He doesn't have a ton of Disney outfits, like shirts or things like that. He would definitely not do like the whole Disney bound that I was doing, like with like a whole themed outfit. But he was, a good enough sport to wear like his shirt. So he had like a Gaston themed shirt that I had bought him originally for our Disney trip. So he wore that this day. And so I used a little Gaston sticker from Once More with Love to mark that in. I didn't mention I used, to mark in our movie, the Beauty and the Beast, I used a Enchanted Rose sticker from Sweet Bean Plans. And then to mark down that our princess date was happening, I used an Anna sticker from Once More with Love again. So dressed up as Belle, we had like a total princess jam session, so just like belting out all the princess songs. I did like have originally I was going to have like a whole like bath and face masks and all of that, but ran out of time, so I basically just did like a ton of like lotions and potions, just to kind of pamper. And then for dinner I made sour apple chiller, or at least an attempt at it, so kind of themed after Snow White. I made my maple glazed salmon, which was from Les Celliers, There was a salmon recipe from Akershus, which is the like Disney princess themed dining in Norway, in the Epcot Pavilion. But that one was a really complicated recipe, so I just amended it to what I could make. And I didn't mention, but most of the recipes I found, or the copycat recipes I found, were from allears.net, which is like a Disney planning, I don't even know what you call it, but they have like a lot of fun videos on YouTube, and then they have like a website, and they're fun on Instagram. And so they had like a ton of copycat recipes on their website, which was really great. And then we made the gray stuff from Beauty and the Beast, which was very, very delicious. So then moving on to Thursday, this was like our one non-Disney themed date. This was actually a Harry Potter themed date, because we would have had one day at Universal Studios. And so I marked down our Harry Potter date with a Hermione munchkin. And then I dressed up as Hermione, of course, my favorite character from the series. And then the candle I burned this day, I really didn't like. It was like, it was called Restricted Studies. So it was supposed to smell like a library. It totally just smelled like just leather, and I didn't like it at all. But it added to the ambiance of, like if you were smelling a really nasty old book, but that was not my favorite candle of the week. So then I cast a spell. So just like, in Universal Studios, you can, like use the wands and like make magic all around the studios, or all around the Harry Potter part of it. Basically just did that, but in my own home, and like pretended to turn on the lights and stuff with my wand. Had a bath this day, kind of carried over from the day before. And then we made acceptance letters, which were just kind of like these envelope shaped, basically like a glorified Hot Pocket, a fancy Hot Pocket. We made French onion soup, and then we had butterbeer, and then for our movie of the day, we watched Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, so I used a Nearly Headless Nick sticker, and then we played the video game Lego Harry Potter, and then later that night we played like a non-Harry Potter related video game. It was called Off the Rails, but it was still train related, so I used like a 9 3/4 sticker to mark down that. Then on to Friday. Friday was our Epcot date, so I used a I think that's Bashful sticker to mark that in, because I dressed up as Snow White, and then I just listened to like Disney tunes that were kind of like, Mulan and Snow White, kind of from different places in the World Showcase, I guess. I attempted to make chocolate chip cookies shaped like Mickey Mouse this day. They did not turn out at all. They turned out like delicious cookies, but they did not look like Mickey Mouse. But it was like National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day or something this day. And then this day we would have eaten at the Garden Grill. And so I made a Garden Grill like steak marinade, and then these caramelized mashed potatoes, and this vanilla bread pudding. Oh, they were so good. I was looking at the menu, and I don't think the bread pudding is still on the menu there anymore, but the steak and potatoes are, so I can't wait to eat there again, or I guess I've never eaten there at all, but can't wait to eat there in the future, I guess. And then we watched Coco this day, and I organized my closet, and so I used a pumpkin paper co. I think it's from her It's a Small World sheet, girl, and then I marked down that our hours are going to change at work, which was just kind of frustrating and disappointing. Basically, like, we're going to be open longer, we're going to be open 2 extra hours a day, but then they're cutting our hours, so we have to do more with less. And it'll probably change, the hours, in terms of like how many hours they allot to pharmacists and staff and everything. Each day can always kind of fluctuate, but it's just a little bit frustrating, and I can't stay up that late. And so, it'll just be a change. Thankfully, it doesn't happen for like another month, so I have a little time to, prepare for it. But yeah, just use kind of like a munchkin for that. Then moving on to Saturday, I marked down that it was our Mickey Mouse date, and so I used a Mickey balloon from, I think that was actually from the Littlest Planner, as are the stickers of the cutie eating like a Mickey bar and then a cutie eating Mickey pretzels, because those were two of the things we made that day. I actually dressed up as Donald Duck this day, which was not my original intent, and I realized that I don't have hardly any costume or like clothing that would kind of be along the same color lines and be along the same idea as like any of the kind of main, Mickey, Donald, Goofy. So my Donald Duck dress up was a little bit of a stretch, but it was fine. And then this day, I listened to Mannheim Steamroller Meets the Mouse, which was one of my favorite like soundtracks or albums when I was little. We had that CD. We played the video game Epic Mickey, and then we watched Fantasmic. I did fall asleep in Fantasmic, which is totally par for the course. I almost always fall asleep in these like nighttime spectaculars just because I'm not a night owl, and you're so tired from walking around all day. And then this day we also made Mickey waffles, and I made this Mickey Mouse cocktail, which was so delicious. And then at the end of the night we watched a couple of Mickey shorts, and later I'll pull in a Oh Hello Stationery Co. Mickey Mouse sticker, and then we also did like a drawing tutorial on how to draw Mickey Mouse. So I used this Mickey pencil sticker from, I can't remember, it's a new shop to me, can't remember what the shop's name is though. So then moving on to Sunday was our last day. We would have left Orlando this day, and so we did our Star Wars date, because we would have had a lot of different Star Wars themed things on our itinerary, just because they have like the new Star Wars ride, they have the Star Wars land, and then my fiance is very much a Star Wars fan, so I used some lightsabers from Once More with Love to mark in our Star Wars date. I dressed up as Princess Leia with the cinnamon roll buns and all, and my sister was like, "Did you seriously wear that to work?" And I was like, "You betcha." So that was a lot of fun. We listened to obviously Star Wars music, and then this day I was looking outside of my window at work, our drive-through window, and I noticed all of the beautiful flowers in the field. They are definitely dandelions, but it was just really beautiful and yellow. So I thought that was just kind of cute, because originally we would have been there during Flower and Garden Festival, so I was admiring our own flowers this day. This night I made blue milk, and then I made a Ronto wrap, which is like a restaurant, like a quick service restaurant there. Oh, that was so good. I can't wait to try that. Like the real deal Ronto wrap. And then I also tried to make green popcorn, which they have in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. But it definitely, I don't know, my food coloring definitely didn't take to the popcorn, so it just kind of looked like moldy popcorn or something like that. This day we watched The Phantom Menace, and so I used a Yoda sticker from Once More with Love, and then I marked Chewie, we're home, because it was the end of our dates, and my fiance had Chewbacca pajamas that he wore. But anyways, this was my whole Disney week, and I hope you enjoyed watching. It was kind of a fun week, even though, our plans weren't originally as planned. Thanks for watching, and I'll just see you in my next video. Bye now.